As always, this week's episode of Adam Wastes Time is brought to you by my website, abcomedy.net. For upcoming shows, my blog, to find back episodes of this podcast, and be able to reach out to me and tell me how awful I am. You can do all those things with my website, abcomedy.net. Thanks, guys. Let's go waste some time. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the 50th... I'm not editing that out. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the 56th edition of Adam Wastes Time for April 15th, 2018. I am Adam Blank. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this intro. This was a pretty long podcast, but this week I sat down with my comedian friend Henry Sir, who just got back from a run to New York and Toronto, and we talk a little bit of basketball and then spend a majority of this week's episode talking pro wrestling, and in particular breaking down WrestleMania 34 that took place 7 days ago. So if you're not a wrestling fan, then this is not going to be fun for you. But if you are, hang around. I want to know what you think. I guess other than that, things are good. I've done lots of shows. Life is great. I'm coming up on a big vacation in another like 12 or 13 days. So I'm scrambling to get some backlogged episodes of this podcast done so that I can still get one up every week while I'm gone. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I'm going to get right to the convo with Henry, and then I'm going to hit my positivity quote and plug my upcoming shows at the end of the episode. All right. So check it out and enjoy it. And I will see you guys in an hour or so. Here we go. But no, it'll be good. It's fucking, yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. It's the scene. Well, the scene's the same without you, but it's still, we still miss you.
Yeah, no, it's sweet to get back to see like the good people in it, and then the other people are just like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. It's just like going back to work and some of the coworkers, 100%. And you're like, fuck, no, exactly. I didn't miss you at all.
That's exactly it.
So where all did you go? Like you were, I know it was New York primarily, right?
Yeah, it was just New York. I was in New York for a month.
Yeah.
And yeah, just did a lot of indie shows and bar shows, and then through that was able to get on club shows and stuff. And then when I was coming home, I stopped in Toronto because I'd never been there.
Oh, really?
When I was a little kid, I've been there, but for comedy, never been there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was great to finally do that.
I saw you went to so you never been to a Raptors game?
I've been to a Raptors game. No, not the ACC. That was my first time there, and that was so cool.
It's a cool rink, or I call it rink because I've seen Leafs play there, but it's a cool building. Hey,
that was great. It was weird to be in Canada and be amongst basketball fans.
Yeah,
like when you just go to like a bar to we got some food beforehand, and everyone's into the Raptors because like, you know, it's hockey country here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And every other time we've gone to a Raptors game, it's been in the States, so we're the visitors, and you see Raptors fans everywhere, so you see some, but this was the first time being like in the hive with them, right, which was just wicked.
So is it like, because now, okay, so it's awesome because like I'm indifferent toward the Raptors. I'm not a big basketball fan. I guess my basketball fandom goes as far as I like LeBron. Like LeBron James, I will tune in to watch LeBron James because I'm he's so good.
If you're a casual fan, I'd say that's the one to watch because he might. A lot of people can make like a legit argument he's the best player of all time.
Right, dude. Okay, so now, and I can't make it a legit argument.
Yeah.
Because I don't know enough.
Yeah.
But my buddy Brad is a Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like he drinks the Kool-Aid, and so I always argue LeBron is the greatest of all time, just to get him fucking wired up. But then when I hear someone that actually knows basketball, be like, dude, there's like it's an opinion thing, but he's like, there's an argument. That makes me very happy.
There totally is an argument to be made. It's one of those things that it's an impossible argument to win because of all the factors of like, all right, well, we're talking decades ago now when Jordan was playing.
Sure.
The training was different. The nutrition was different. The rules of the game were different. I think this is the big thing that people give Michael over LeBron. Jordan didn't lose in the finals.
Right.
LeBron's lost quite a few times. Jordan was in a tougher conference to get to the finals, whereas LeBron... And it's tough because you have to give him credit in saying this. Like, he's so good that it was literally just a foregone conclusion. Well, whoever he plays against in the East is not going to put up a real fight.
Right.
And they'll go to the finals because the East was garbage for so long. Whereas the East was really good when Jordan was in Chicago.
Right.
But it's just, you can't win that argument. You can't be like, yeah, but he's done this now. It's like, well, okay, they didn't play at the same time.
No, it's the same as like as arguing, oh man, I'm gonna get fucking people shitting on me for this. But like, it's the same as like Crosby versus Gretzky, or McDavid versus Gretzky, or Gretzky versus Howe, or fucking. When it's different generations, it's a whole different game.
Yes, like when people were saying like, yeah, but the 72-10 Bulls were better than the 73-9 Warriors a few years ago, and it's just like you can't you can't win that argument. It's kind of, I just feel like now, because I used to hate LeBron so much.
When he went to Miami?
I hated him.
Yeah, I did so too. Much. It's funny because I didn't even watch basketball, but I was like, he just seemed like such a dickhead.
Yeah, the way he did it, the fact that he did it. But now I'm at a point now where just as a fan of basketball, it's like, just shut up and appreciate how good he is. Because, like I said, who knows what he'll go down as, but he's going to be at least a top 5 all-time player for a long time. Right. So, like, of all the people to ever play the game in the world, he's going to be one of the 5 best to have ever. That's just insane. So now it's just like, shut up, watch.
There's generations that don't get to watch one of the 5 best of all time.
Well, it's like the Warriors. Like, you don't have to like the Warriors. You can want them to lose, but when you're watching, just appreciate how good this last couple years has been.
That's
like
that's
how
I
feel about LeBron. You know,
that's how I feel about like the Patriots. I fucking hate the New England Patriots, but I'm like, dude, they're one of the greatest dynasties in sports history.
No, exactly.
What they've done, you can't deny. Like Tom Brady, like you can't. I don't like him. But it's impossible to deny what they've accomplished.
No, totally. I'm not a huge football guy anymore. I still like, but I don't look when people. We'll throw a comic's name, Alex Fortin. Like when he's saying how terrible Tom Brady is, he knows he's lying.
I know
to
he
himself.
does, dude. I wanna do one of these with Alex, and I want it to just be an hour about Tom Brady and just fucking get him going
and just lie through his teeth for an hour.
Fucking guy. So I will get out of basketball in a minute because anyone that's listening to this that knows basketball is going to get mad at me for faking it because I don't. But like, so the playoffs are about to start.
They already started.
And and thankfully the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be eliminated in the next 72 hours or so.
Are they down 3-0?
2-0.
And they're getting like smacked.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and it's so good. It's so fucking good. Ethan. It's so good, dude. I fucking love it.
Are you a Boston fan? You just hate the Leafs.
I'm a Montreal fan. I hate both those teams.
Okay.
But I hate Boston less.
Okay.
So I'm like what's the saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
So go Bruins.
Yeah.
Fucking after they've gotten rid of Toronto, I hope they get destroyed, but get rid of Toronto.
Yeah.
So once the Leafs are out of the playoffs. I mean, I guess the Jays are hanging around, but that's going to be Raptor City until their season, like their playoffs are over.
100%.
Which is dope. Like
I think even right now it was kind of cool, but like obviously it's Canada, so the Leafs.
Yeah,
I think will always.
You can't touch the Leafs.
No, but the Raptors, it's Toronto's just a sports town, so when you give them a reason, like the Raptors are popular, man. They love them in Toronto, and that's kind of this like maybe not a sweet thing about basketball, like whereas hockey, you have options to cheer for. Like you can be in Edmonton and hate Toronto because we're not from Toronto,
right?
But Toronto is by default our team as Canadians. So that's been well documented. But that's the thing they have going for them is they're not just a city's team; they're Canada's team. And I imagine when the Leafs get ousted, like it's going to be insane because the Raptors have a legit shot at making a push this year.
That's what I was going to ask you. So like the last couple of years. I mean, because they've gone to the conference finals. Has it been 2 years in a row or just last year?
No, just that 1 year.
Okay, and they ran into LeBron.
Yeah,
and it's LeBron and Cleveland. Like so, because I know. Sorry, I'm turn my mom off. I know that like they are the number 1 seed in the East this year, right? Like
but they're still the underdog.
I was gonna say if I gave you money right now to bet on a team to come out of the East, and you put your heart aside, you just want to make money.
Yeah.
Is it going on Toronto, or do you have, or do you have to put it on someone else?
Honestly, I don't know. What's cool about it is this is the first time in a really long time. Like I said, it's not just like, well, whichever team LeBron's on is 100% going to the finals because the Raptors they're the 1 seed, but they are so unproven in the playoffs, and traditionally they've been such a different, not very good team in the playoffs. So it's tough to put all your money on them until you see them actually do something. But like yesterday, they had their first ever game 1 win in the first round, and they beat Washington, who's good. But the thing is, so obviously LeBron and the Cavs are going to be good, but they're not as good as they have been. It's going to be really interesting today because they play the Pacers in like a half hour or something to see if LeBron just goes into LeBron mode,
right?
And if he just becomes superhuman again, or if this is actually the year where it's like not necessarily he's slowing down, but the guys around him,
right? Despite
having LeBron on the team, just don't get it done. But the other guys, I think everybody assumes it's going to slow down, but Philly, I think they've won 17 games in a row. They didn't have Embiid last night, and they smashed, like, Miami. They killed Miami. Like, Philly is tough.
Right.
So, I don't know. To answer your question, though, realistically, I don't know how you can, even though they're the 4 seed, bet against LeBron.
Yeah, that's
But if
my
this was
thought.
the year to do it,
Do it now.
put your money down, man.
And I promise we're gonna get out of basketball in a second. So on the West, it's Houston and Golden State, right? Like, so is whoever, like, is the East just playing for the right to lose to Houston or Golden State?
Probably,
right?
realistically.
Like, it's gonna be Houston and Golden State in the Western Final
Yeah.
for the right to beat someone from the East in the NBA champion. In the
Most
NBA
likely.
Final.
And it sucks because Golden State, I don't like, I appreciate Golden State, but I want them to lose because I want to see
somebody.
I want to see some disparity.
I get that.
But they're playing the Spurs, who don't have Kawhi, and they're just not the Spurs they have been. If they were playing like the Jazz or OKC, they'd still probably win, but they'd really push them.
Sure.
Because Golden State doesn't have Curry for this series. But yeah, it's gonna be, unless something crazy happens in the second round, it's gonna be Houston and Golden State, and then whoever wins that's gonna win the finals. Yeah.
So you guys heard it here. Houston or Golden State is going to win the NBA Finals, and I've said it already on here one time. I'm going to say it again. We are 2 months away from the Nashville Predators winning their first Stanley Cup, and I hope it. And mark my words, they're going to beat Boston in the finals, and they're going to do it in 6 games. Which means that PK Subban is going to get to skate around the ice in Boston with the Stanley Cup. And it's going to be the greatest moment of my sport watching life. Right there. It's going to be so good.
That's bold.
I fucking pray, Henry. I fucking pray that that's the case. Okay, so now I guess it's not much of a segue, but I will have warned you in the intro that this is a very sports-centric episode. So if you don't like sports, go listen to one of... Yeah, you're a nerd. Go listen to one of the... Actually, I have a couple nerdy episodes recorded with Video Game Talk. You can listen to one of those. We're going to do WrestleMania because I am a pro wrestling fan.
Aficionado.
Big fan, yeah. And you are as well. That's
Love it.
one of the things that you and I click over the most is our pro wrestling
100%.
fandom. So WrestleMania was 7 days ago.
Yes.
I would have liked to have uploaded this earlier, but you've been off touring the world, and I haven't been home either, touring Alberta. So we
living the dream
just
over here,
living the fucking dreams. So we haven't had a chance to do this. So you watched? Did you watch the whole thing, pre-show, everything, like the 7 hours?
So I think I caught 6 hours of it.
Okay.
I got home because I got home that day from Toronto.
Okay.
And I had taken sleeping pills earlier that day because I wanted to sleep on the flight, so I was fresh for it. Like, legitimately, I based my day around WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then they didn't work, but then when I got home, they worked.
Oh.
So what pissed me off so much, we'll get to it, but I watched the pre-show, and then the first hour, which were 2 of the best matches,
For my 100%.
I slept.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, because I ripped home from a show Sunday morning. I left Saskatchewan at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
to get home. I got home. I got like my podcast uploaded. I walked Molly. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I dipped into some special brownies with the intention of being like, I'm just gonna mellow on the couch for 7 hours in my sweats and eat pizza and watch wrestling. And there are right around the 3 or 4 hour mark. I don't remember parts. Because I was fucked. But then it came back. But I did. I can't believe you missed the... Okay, so we'll start with the pre-show.
Yes.
So, before we get into this, actually, I'll just do this. So my buddy Brad's a big wrestling fan, too, and I talk to him all the time. And he complained to me the whole night and then complained to me the next day about how long the show was. Yeah. And my thing is, like, and maybe it's because I could barely feel my body. I never once... felt like it was too long. Like if I had ever hit a point where I was like, this isn't fun to watch anymore, I would have been like, this is too long. But I never felt like that. I enjoyed, for the most part, I enjoyed the entire show.
Yeah, I didn't feel too fatigued from it, but I heard that's like the phrase I've heard tons of people say is wrestling fatigue. And there were points where I was just like, man, this is really long.
It is.
And
yeah.
I had a tough time focusing at times, but it's at a point now where they have so many good wrestlers you got to finish. Like you can't do it in 3 hours anymore.
True. There was only one match that I really felt like if it was not on the card, I would have enjoyed the card more.
Which one?
And that was the last match.
Yeah.
On the card, which we'll get to in a minute. But
Yeah.
I was like, that was the only thing that I was like, I was thinking about it this morning when I was getting ready for this, and I was like, the only match I would have removed to been like that made it more fun.
Yeah.
Was the main event. Other than that, I was like, I enjoyed every single match.
It's a good problem to have as a wrestling fan that it's like an abundance of it.
For sure.
Because I'd rather see the match and be a little bit like, all right, well, this went on a bit long, instead of being like, oh yeah, it was 3 hours. It was a good time, but they didn't show all these matches or they rushed matches, especially at WrestleMania where it's so much spectacle.
Dude, if you look at that show right now, and even if you cut the pre-show out, because the pre-show was just the 2 battle royals and the 205 Live, the Cruiserweight Championship,
right?
And I loved the Andre the Giant battle royal because I wanted Matt Hardy to win, because I love Woken Matt Hardy.
Do you?
I do. I really do.
I'm not a fan.
Dude, I love it. The only person, well, like, so I would text my buddy that whole battle royal, and I was like, I either want it to be Matt Hardy, Zack Ryder, who I know isn't going to win, but I love Zack Ryder.
Okay.
Or Dolph. And I knew they weren't going to use Dolph because they've fucked up Dolph more
They've
times.
They've kind of given up on him,
right?
It seems.
So I was like, come on, Matt. Like, I like So you don't care for the?
It's not like I hate it or anything. The thing that makes me fine with it is growing up, especially. I loved the Hardy Boys, but like most people, it was Jeff.
Yeah.
Like Matt was so much less athletic, and neither of them were like particularly good on the mic or whatever. But Matt was so much like second fiddle.
He was.
And then especially when Jeff's gone, and if he's still a Hardy Boy, and it's like, well, also he's like middle-aged Hardy Boy, like that like, you know, going around in like a fishnet shirt and leather pants isn't as cool anymore. But the fact that it's just a different character is way better for a guy his age.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's there's some of the way he talks annoys me so much.
It entertains me.
It is entertaining because the thing is, I'll watch it.
Sure.
But actually, that's not true. There have been a few times when him and Bray Wyatt had their back and forth. They had to change the channel.
Where they're just laughing.
It was just too uncomfortable for me.
I think like my big thing with the whole woken broken matter, I enjoy it. I think it's funny. But my biggest thing with it, I think, is because I'm the same way. I loved the Hardys growing up.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy's in my 5 favorite wrestlers of all time.
Jeff Hardy.
I love Jeff Hardy. But I always kind of felt bad for Matt. I was always like, because he like I read their book. I've seen their documentary, all that kind of stuff. And Matt has always seemed like the Leonardo of the brothers. He was like he got them booked. He did all the work, and then Jeff went in and was like, I'm the star.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'd really like to see Matt kind of get his, just one time. And I'm like, remember when he was doing V1, version 1 back in the day with Mattitude?
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool gimmick. But then it kind of fell like he never got that main event. And I don't know if he's going to get a main event out of this, but I'm like, if he is ever going to get it, it's now. And I think that's why I enjoy it, because I want to see him finally get a little bit of his due.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. I didn't read the book or anything like that. I knew a little bit about that stuff. So that is, I guess... That's a much better way to look at it, to just be like, he is, as the second fiddle, that's a reason to root for him, instead of being like, he's a second fiddle, I don't care.
I would just like to see him, like, I can't imagine he's ever going to be a world champion in WWE.
No, but if he's like in title contention for, even if it becomes the tag teams, but I also have mixed feelings about him in a tag team without Jeff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It just feels uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like, even if they're going to do and bring him his brother Nero and do that thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting if it is a tag team he's doing with Bray.
If I could write the storyline for Matt Hardy, tomorrow night on the Shake Up, Jeff would get sent to SmackDown and just be Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
And then Matt would maybe he like recruits a third person and starts to lead this like stable of these woken warriors.
Yeah.
He finds, I don't know who, but he finds someone else, and then that guy and Bray can be the tag team in the group, and Matt is their leader, and Matt can kind of go off and be the, like, that's, if I could book it, that's what I would do with him.
Kind of make it like it's essentially the Wyatt family.
Yeah,
just
except it's
way. So take a struggling superstar that needs a change up.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think you have to split up Jeff and Matt right now. If Jeff's not doing Brother Nero, they have to be.
Just put him on SmackDown.
Yeah,
Jeff's got enough star power on his own.
100%.
Put him on SmackDown. He can go right into the U.S. title or whatever.
Yeah,
like fucking
totally.
Okay, so the Battle Royal. Okay, and then the Women's Battle Royal was like, man.
Yeah, it was.
I really respect what they're doing with the women wrestlers. And for the first time in my entire life, I care about women wrestling
100%.
because I didn't. But that Women's Battle Royal, I was like, I really don't care who wins this.
No, it was just filler.
Yeah.
It was totally just like, all right, it's WrestleMania. We want to appease the wrestlers, but we obviously don't have a match for all you got. And it was fine.
Yeah, it was what it was.
It was cool. It's the first ever, but it was obviously like, it's not as cool as the first Royal Rumble.
No, not at all.
So it just felt like the complete way down the line of like, isn't this monumental? And like,
It almost felt like the Royal Rumble was dope.
Oh yeah.
And the first Money in the Bank was dope.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, okay, well, the women also get to do this, and the women also get to do this. It's like, I like, they say they did it so that everyone gets a payday for being on WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But I was like, I guess after the main event, that would be the match that if you were like, hey, you didn't get to see that match, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'd agree with that.
And then I thought the cruiserweight. So here's the thing. I love cruiserweight wrestling. And WCW's cruiserweight division was one of my favorite things about WCW.
That's what got me into wrestling.
The cruiserweights?
100%.
Oh, they were so good.
High flying is what got me into, like, that's why, like I said, Jeff Hardy struck such a chord with me.
Yeah.
Is like, I didn't really care, other than Bret Hart, because Bret Hart's my all-time favorite wrestler. But
we could do a whole nother podcast.
oh my god, we could have
Bret Hart because
a day.
Oh,
do you not like Bret Hart?
I fucking hate Bret.
What?
Hart. I fucking hate Bret Hart.
How?
Okay, like
okay, can we quickly talk about this and get back to WrestleMania, please?
I never hated Bret Hart before. I was always a Shawn Michaels guy. So I never hated Bret Hart. I was always like, Bret's cool, like whatever, he's a good wrestler, he's fine. And then the screw job. And after the screw job, and it was just like, oh yeah, I screwed. And he was like, then do your fucking job and lose the title. Well, I can't do it in Canada. It'll hurt all the Canadians. I'm Canadian. I would have been like, okay, you lost the title. Oh no.
It would have broke my heart.
Oh, but that's pro wrestling. Yeah. That's pro wrestling. You're supposed to get your heart broken sometimes. Yeah, you're 100%. Supposed to get your heart broken sometimes.
Oh,
fuck
man.
Bret Hart and his fucking like, I'm bitter now, and
he's a completely
Vince screwed me and everyone screwed me.
Bitter, jaded person that takes himself entirely.
I take nothing away
seriously.
from his matches. I take nothing away from his matches.
Yeah, I'm not saying like actually this isn't true. If someone was like, you want to go hang out with Bret Hart, like yes, just talk at me about how everyone's wronged you. Like do it, please, and I will love it. I get that. Like I read his book, and after that I was like, oh, he's not the guy I thought he was.
I hated him more after
on a personal level. I can get why you're not be a big fan, but as an Albertan growing up, this guy from Alberta who is like the face of wrestling, he was a rock. Oh man,
I can't.
We cannot see eye to eye on that.
No, we can't.
All time. There will never be another wrestler. I don't know if there'll ever be another entertainment figure, like, and I'll include basketball in that, or comedy, that meant as much to me as Bret Hart did when I was a little kid.
That's crazy to me.
He meant so much to me.
Dude, I never... Remember when he beat Undertaker at SummerSlam with Michaels as the referee?
Yeah.
So the Undertaker was my Bret Hart when I was a kid.
Okay.
I worshipped the Undertaker, and I loved Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And then when Shawn Michaels cost the Undertaker the WWF Championship to Bret Hart, my heart got pulled out of... That hurt me more than the idea of Bret Hart losing the title of Canada. Was God. Bret Hart beating my favorite wrestler via my second favorite wrestler.
This is so crooked, man.
We'll do... you know what? We'll do another one down the road.
Yes,
and we'll just debate Bret Hart.
Please.
Fucking Bret Hart. Okay, so that said, the 205 Live Cruiserweight title match, I thought it was a fun match. I enjoyed it. I can't get into 205 Live for some reason. I don't know what it is, because that was those two guys busted their ass and put on a great match.
They put on one of the best matches of the night.
Agreed.
And often they work the best matches a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm the same as you. I don't care. 205 Live means nothing. And just, honestly, if they didn't have it as the cruiserweight division, it was just part of Raw and SmackDown, and these guys happened to wrestle that style, I'd be way more into it. But it's just completely classified itself as, it feels like this isn't really WWE. It just feels like watching like NXT.
Sure.
It's like in between NXT and WWE, and there's just not that much at stake.
I would greatly prefer it if they just like, so say the Cruiserweight title's on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Which is where it should go, because they have 3 hours to fill.
Yeah.
And then every week you sneak in a Cruiserweight match. Don't change it to fucking purple ropes and everything. Just have a Cruiserweight match.
Right.
And then maybe 2 Cruiserweights have a tag team match against fucking the Bar or something.
Right.
Like, just like it was in WCW, where they're just more wrestlers. Exactly. It's just there's a title that only they can compete for.
No, I agree. I think the second you change the ropes and stuff, it's like, I'm not watching Raw anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and I just lose interest. Yeah. Even when the matches are great, I don't care about the characters.
Agreed.
And it just means nothing to me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that was the pre-show, and I thought the pre-show was fine. So like, because Shaylee and I are having serious discussions about going to WrestleMania next year, which is a total bucket list item for me. I've always wanted to do it.
Because it's in New York.
It's in New York, MetLife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 7 hours of live wrestling. I could understand it would be kind of wear you out maybe, but I was like, that pre-show like wouldn't wear you out, because you watch the Battle Royal. Now you get 15 minutes to like check your phone, get a beer, 100%. Do whatever. Then you have the match. You know, like I think the pre-show is cool, and I like the way they put those matches on it. Yeah. I pre-show was great. Then you get to the actual match. Mm-hmm. And the match that I was the most excited for going into WrestleMania was that Intercontinental Title Triple Threat match.
Yeah, the one I slept through. That was it the one I was the most excited for.
Me too.
Yeah.
The Miz. Who's your favorite wrestler on the roster right now, if you had to pick one?
Probably Elias.
Okay. Oh, he's so good.
But
Elias is awesome.
I appreciate, and I think we may have spoken about this last time, the reason I went through a phase of not watching wrestling was The Miz. When he was headlining WrestleMania, and I was like, some guy whose catchphrase is "I'm awesome," who was on a reality show, is headlining WrestleMania. I was like, it's done. I'm through with wrestling. I hated him so much.
I understand that,
and I appreciate that guy so much
Dude,
now.
I'm so, because like as you know, I'm a Miz guy and have
he's
been
made
since
me
day
a fan.
one. The amount of respect he has won from pro wrestling fans is like, he is not only is he the best heel going right now, but he is just, his matches are great. His mic work is great. He sells being the beatable, whiny little heel. He's on the cusp of climbing into my 5 favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
He's so good. And probably my second favorite wrestler on the roster right now is Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn's great.
Dude, Finn's so good. And Rollins is awesome.
Yeah, I like Rollins.
And so, like, when they made that the opening match, I was like, that's sick. Because that's going to kick off a great show. Yeah. And so, have you watched it since? Like, did you record
I watched it after, because on the network, they're replaying it all the time. So I've watched it. It's a
beauty
great
match. Fucking beauty match.
It's great.
I was surprised that Rollins won.
I was thinking Finn was finally going to get some kind of, like, real push.
I figured it was either going to be give it to Finn, move Rollins up to the main event, and let Miz go after Finn.
Yeah.
Or they were going to let Miz, because they keep pushing that Miz is getting so close to breaking the all-time title holder reign.
Right.
I really thought maybe they'd let him keep it and break that reign.
Oh, okay.
But he'll just win it back and fucking
100%.
beat it at some point.
They need him holding a belt.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly, I hope that Miz gets moved back to SmackDown tomorrow. Because the thing is like on Raw, in the land of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman,
he gets lost.
Miz is not going to main event.
I would love to see him get back on SmackDown to be around Daniel Bryan too. Oh, because that's a rivalry.
Miz and Bryan has to happen. Like, to me, the main event of next year's WrestleMania, especially if I end up going, if you tell me the main event of that WrestleMania could be the Miz defending against Daniel Bryan, I would lose my mind.
That would be insane.
So he needs to go back there. But it was a great match. It's probably the 3 best wrestlers on Raw. Like, all-around workers on Raw.
Yeah,
it probably is.
No one can touch Miz and what you said, and just like his mic work and his charisma. But then, like, I always find it funny calling WWE guys technical wrestlers when there is zero technical wrestling going on. But in that style of wrestling, Finn and Seth are pretty tough to touch. Like, I mean, you got like guys like Cesaro, but no one cares anymore. But no, it was a good match. I was pissed. I slept through it.
Yeah,
but it was a beautiful. Honestly, like, it was kind of beautiful. That was like when you see the potential of this, like, you can like border on like the really pretentious, like it's an art form, and you're just kind of like, well, this is as close as it'll get to that. Yeah, you got 3 guys of this caliber. Yeah. I love that match.
Wicked match. And so upon finishing viewing WrestleMania, I was like, that was my match of the night. Then I thought about it more and more. Yeah, and I honestly think my match of the night was the match that followed it, which I would have never guessed in a million years I would give match of the night to, and that was the Charlotte Flair Asuka match. Yeah. Which was so fucking good, dude. Yeah. Those two can go. Charlotte's
great.
To have to live up to the Flair name is the most intimidating thing there is. And she's fantastic, dude.
She's great. Especially because she didn't start, she's still somewhat new to it. You know?
Yeah.
She's such an athlete, though.
For my money, that was the best women's wrestling match I've ever seen.
Yeah. It'd have to be up there.
If you told me, I heard it on, like, do you ever listen to Busted Open?
No.
I listen to it every morning at work or when I'm here, like on Sirius XM, and which is where my show's headed, I think. And they were like, could that match have main evented? And I'm like, at a glance, no.
Right.
Watching this show, if that's how the show had ended, I would have been like, dude, that was a main event caliber match.
Oh, from a quality perspective, 100%.
It was
from
so
just
good.
Realistically, if you're looking at the landscape of it, if you say the main event is a women's match at WrestleMania, still I don't know if that would go over, which sucks saying out loud.
It's true,
it's
though.
Just honesty.
Yeah, it's true, though.
But if you want to talk about quality, that was so much infinitely better and more interesting than the actual main event.
I really, like, when they opened the show with the Intercontinental Triple Threat, I was like, cool, good match, good opener. That's solid. Yeah. I really expected Asuka Charlotte to be, like, 3/4 of the way through as like this is your other fucking like treat match. Yeah. So for those two to go 1-2, everybody else had a fucking tough act to follow to finish that show.
And maybe the line of thinking was like, all right, so we did the pre-show, let's just make sure nobody loses interest.
Yeah, maybe.
And so we're gonna have a banger in the first one, and then Asuka and Charlotte are really gonna work a nice match. So we got them, but and I get that line of thinking, but at the same time, it was also like, kind of nowhere to go but down now.
That was my exact worry, like sitting there watching it. was that, because I was like, where are you going to go after this?
Yeah.
So then the third match was the U.S. title 4-way.
Yeah.
Which was fun. It was whatever. I didn't have a problem with Jinder Mahal winning because I'm like, that's a heel move. Everyone fucking hates him. Let him win.
Yeah.
I do not understand what they are thinking with Rusev.
Thank you. Yeah.
He's so white. Okay, so like one of my biggest regrets as a pro wrestling fan is the terrible way they handled CM Punk.
Right.
Because I love CM Punk.
Yeah.
And I think CM Punk could have been this generation Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they fucked it up.
Oh, they're ridiculous with it.
Then Daniel Bryan got ridiculously over.
Yeah.
And almost got it fucked up. Like they kind of fixed it, but they almost fucked that up.
Yeah.
And now Rusev has done it.
Yeah.
And they just want nothing to do
know.
with him. Like, to me, the only way Mahal pinning Rusev to win that title makes sense is if now they set up a story where Rusev is chasing Mahal
and then he
triumphs.
I don't get the WWE with just silencing like movements. You know, like I felt this way because for quite a while, Cesaro was far and away my favorite wrestler on the roster, and the Cesaro section, everything, and he was so over, but it was just so clear. Like Vince McMahon, Triple H were just like, no, this isn't the guy. As much as you guys are telling us he's the guy, we're gonna tell you he's not even close. Right. And that was absolutely nothing compared to these Rusev Day chants and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
And it's not like you just give it to him because it's what we want. You can't give us what we want all the time, but to just blatantly be just like, oh, no.
Right.
And like they edited, I think this week on SmackDown when they announced Paige was the GM and they're trying to set up the Daniel Bryan AJ Styles. They started chanting Rusev Day first. And then in like this week in WWE or whatever, they edited it out so that you don't hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like propaganda.
Why?
Yeah. They just, like, they don't want people.
Dude, it like, I don't know anything about business. I don't own a business.
Yeah.
But if I had a product that my customers were like, hey, I want to buy that. I want to buy that. I want to buy that. I would be like, fucking, I need to get more of this product.
No, exactly.
Like this product needs to be at the front of the store because this is what everybody wants to buy. I don't understand it. Yeah. Like, I don't get why they're like, oh no, we can't let you buy that.
No.
We can't let you buy that. And they do it over and over and over.
Imagine like, I guess if we can compare it to, and we don't focus too much on comics, this is a sports one I know, but like say as comics, if we, whatever, you have some merch or you like say you have two albums and one is so much more successful than the other and people are just like, we want that one, people are trying to buy it, but you're like, no, this one's better, and like, no, this one's a lot funnier.
That's the one we want.
Yeah, but like selfishly and ego wise, you're like, but I like this one better, it means more to me, so I'm not gonna give you that.
Yeah.
Then it's like, you're just being a dick now.
That's all it is. You're the big dog in the yard and you can do whatever you want.
Like, it doesn't mean put the belt on him right away, but give them what they want in terms of, and also for just Rusev's sake, he's done something right. Reward the guy. Right. He struck a chord with the audience. Yeah. That's what you want.
Yeah. It's fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to reserve judgment and waiting to see if they let Rusev be the guy to beat Mahal and win the title. Because if they do that, then fine. Because you're right. You said it. I didn't want to cut you off, but you were like, they can't just give us what we want every match. Yeah. I agree. Because if the good guy and the guy you like wins every match, it's boring. 100%. So I'm fine with Mahal winning. Yeah. But now let Rusev go get him. Totally. Like, don't fucking just throw Rusev back down to the fucking. Don't just go Mahal and Orton for the next fucking.
That's the thing that really
6 months.
Like, how is like. I've never been an Orton fan. I just find him painfully boring.
He is boring.
I always have.
He is boring.
And the fact that he's won 13 championships,
dude, it's fucking.
But the fact that you're still pushing, it's like he has a place in the WWE, but he shouldn't be in title contention.
Agreed. The only times I've ever liked Randy Orton, I thought Legend Killer was cool.
It was a good gimmick.
There was a point where I kind of wanted him to beat Taker because the Legend Killer was taken off, and I was like, dude, if he beats Taker, he is the Legend Killer. And then I won't lie to you, like this was the only part of that 4-way I really enjoyed. Actually, it can be fun when he just starts RKOing everybody.
It's hilarious.
But after he's done with his RKOs, it's like, get out of the fucking ring.
Those videos where people make that was the best thing that could have possibly happened to him in his career.
Agreed.
In this stage, because now all anybody cares about is they just want to hear out of nowhere. Yeah. And him, it's like a comedy thing.
It is, yeah.
When he RKOs people now, it's hilarious.
Agreed. But other than that match was fucking.
I didn't. Yeah, that one was boring. I didn't care for it.
So then after that was my surprise of the night, and that was Angle Rousey, Triple H.
Great match.
And okay, so here's the thing. It was a great match. And I've been shitting on Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
I don't care for Ronda Rousey. I didn't care for her in UFC. I'm like, I don't care for her coming in and being this fucking like, look at me, I'm this badass who can't act at all.
No, can't keep a straight face.
And I despise Stephanie McMahon.
Really?
Not as big a heel,
Yeah.
but because you shit on all of your fucking wrestlers and don't like, she's trying to be Vince.
Right.
But it's like, you know why Vince worked? Because Vince got his. Every second, third week, Vince just got it.
Yeah.
And Stephanie never gets it.
Yeah.
And I know she did here.
Right.
But it's like she won't now for a while.
Yeah.
Like that was it. And then people can argue that it was all like they clearly rehearsed that match. But that doesn't bother me at all. Remember when Randy Savage and Steamboat from 3, I think it was, is one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. And Randy Savage was infamous for fucking like writing out like he knew every move. Yeah. It's like it's an entertaining match. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care at all.
Not at all, dude. And that was a lot of like I was watching it with Shaylee, and Shaylee was right into it too. She's like, dude, this is like fucking get it. And then I thought she was gonna make Triple H tap. I thought, and I was like, that'd be cool with Triple H. Actually.
But I do get why they can't, because Triple H still is a wrestler. I guess why they can't. Yes, but they can't have put Rosie over that much at the expense of him. Yeah. I guess I was dreading that match because
me too.
Triple H and Stephanie irritate me just because their characters never change. They constantly throw themselves in these huge storylines. Yeah. But there's nothing at stake ever. They just go on being, whether they call themselves the Authority and like best for business or whatever. Yeah. Nothing changes them. So they lose this match, and it's still going to be the same thing. Triple H is going to come in as, you know, the kind of corrupt boss, and she's the little, you know, bratty daughter of the billionaire. Nothing changes. That's what irritates me most. And the fact that he has to have his giant, like, skull mask barricade of motorbikes, and it's just like, we get it. Motorhead's your theme.
You know what pisses me off about Triple H is that he's the one that killed wrestling for me for a while. I stopped watching because of him. But, like, and we could do this on the Bret Hart podcast, but like my 2 favorite matches of all time are both Triple H matches.
Yeah,
like
which ones?
Him and Cactus Jack from the Rumble, in 2000.
Yeah,
and then him and, you may not even remember this match, but it was him and Chris Jericho. They did a Last Man Standing match.
Oh, okay, I don't.
It was before Jericho was ever a main eventer.
Oh, okay, and
they were feuding. It was right around the time Jericho beat him for the title and then didn't beat him.
Right.
So they had a Last Man Standing match. And Jericho had never been in the main event yet, really. Yeah. And Jericho lost, but it was at 9. Triple H got up, won, and then Triple H fell over again.
Oh,
and
so
it was
still put him
such a great, like Triple H tapped out, but there was no tap outs because it was the last man standing. Yeah. And then he was like, not only was he tapping out, but it was like little girls screaming like, "Make him stop!" And you know what I mean? Like it was. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so we'll get into that later. But I hate Triple H now. I hate him.
Not a fan.
But and I love Kurt Angle, as I'm sure you do, because he's Kurt Angle.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites when he was in his day. But
he shouldn't be in the ring anymore.
No,
dude, he should not be in the ring anymore. But that was a really entertaining.
It was great
match.
And like you said, I don't care if it's great. I would way rather see, you know, like a comedy show where the jokes are super good, like you clear rehearsed, than go into an improv show and it not be even remotely funny. Like, yeah, but it was improvised. Like, I don't care. It sucked.
Yeah, agreed.
Give me the match that's good. And Rousey. This is the reason I don't really have an opinion on her, to be honest. Like, I don't kind of care one way or another when she's coming in. I was like, business-wise, you have to take her. Yeah. Because people will be talking about it.
Right.
But it kind of felt like coming into it as like a legit athlete, you can tell she, like, in her own way, and especially in this mark, can rise to the occasion. And she did, man. Because she looked really good.
She nailed it. It was fucking perfect. There was points where she was selling. Yeah, bumping, and I was like, dude, good for you.
I was psyched to see it because I was like almost nervous for her.
Me too.
I'm like, the wrestling fans won't accept her. Yeah. She's just gonna bomb. It's gonna be brutal, but she just rose to the occasion, and I don't know. I was just psyched for her in a weird way.
I mean, we'll see where it goes now.
Oh yeah, because now we have to put up with her showing up on Raw, just staring at people,
pointing at yeah. So so that was the first 4 matches, right? So like it's holy fuck. That's okay. I don't care. It's my podcast. I do as long as I want. So the first 4 matches. Where like I was like the triple threat was great, the women's title match was great, the U.S. title match was kind of meh. Then Rousey Triple H was great, and then I felt like after that it was like we're running out of gas. I was still entertained, but
I feel like up to that it was perfect because like we said, you have the 2 matches that knock it out of the park. One that's kind of just whatever, but you know not everyone's going to be a home run. And then the Rousey one surpassed everyone's expectations. And like, because I'm the same. I was watching at home with my wife, and she was pumped. I was into it. I was like actually getting off the couch.
Right.
I was into it. And then when you're getting that kind of action, it's like, all right, this can't maintain for another 8 hours.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So then I have the lineup here on my
Yeah.
because I
What
can
was the one
remember
after?
it.
I can't remember.
So after that was the SmackDown tag match. The Usos, the New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a waste of time.
I thought it was fine for what it was. Like, you kind of had to have the Bludgeon Brothers do what they did. Even though the titles changed hands, it just felt like filler.
Yeah.
Of like, we have to have the title match, but it's also just like, this isn't the one I came to see. We'll see what happens. I don't really care though. I thought it was fine, but that's as much as I'd give it.
If it was up to me, dude, they would remember when they did the brand split for the first time and the undisputed champion went to both shows.
Right.
I would love to see the world champion just do both shows again.
Yeah.
And I would love to see the tag team champions just do both shows.
Yeah.
Because the tag team division is just, they have great tag teams, but they're not using them.
No,
and it's just, it's watered down. And I just, like, I like the Usos and I love the New Day.
Yeah.
I don't care for the Bludgeon Brothers and it's not heels. I'm just like, it's boring. I'm like,
No,
you guys are just
boring.
the Wyatts.
No, exactly. It's just wearing matching leather. Like,
with giant fake Thor hammers.
Yeah, exactly.
And you knew everyone and their mother knew they were winning that match.
Oh yeah.
That was like, if there was a match to go for a piss and get a beer.
No, totally.
That was it.
Totally.
So then after that, John Cena, who would run up the ramp. So like, I actually didn't have a problem with this storyline. I didn't like the fact they had Cena run up the ramp while Charlotte was exiting from her match. I'm like, they just had the match of the night. You couldn't let them exit, then have John Cena go.
Yeah.
Like, just give them their moment. They had a great match.
And of course it would be Cena's the one that does it.
So Cena comes out, and then the lights go down, and you're like, because you knew The Undertaker was coming. And it was
if
like,
he didn't,
fucking
that would
rights.
have been the worst story ever told. Literally, probably the worst storyline in wrestling history.
Absolutely. Now, having said that, when the lights went out and then fucking Elias came out, I was like, the only problem I had with that was I was like, you were about to get fed to John Cena.
Yeah.
Because the heat he got was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, at a kid, like, fucking, you faked everybody out.
Yeah.
And then Cena beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I didn't care for that move at all. No. I was really pissed that Elias, in one way or another, wasn't actually wrestling in WrestleMania.
Me too.
Like you said, the heat he's got, I feel like he's earned more than... Yeah, it's cool that he can get a big pop tricking everybody to think, oh, it's not The Undertaker, it's Elias. That's fine. But then ultimately, just to be a guy that plays a trick and then gets destroyed by Cena...
Yeah.
It's like he deserves more than that after the work he's been putting in.
I worry that he's going to be the new Damien Sandow, where he's insanely over and they're just not going to do anything with him.
No, totally.
Because he's so good. So then Taker came out.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Taker is my favorite gimmick of all time. Yeah. He's the reason I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch him. The match was stupid, but whatever. It was just, you got to see Undertaker.
I didn't, because I respect and appreciate The Undertaker so much, I just wish it didn't happen at all.
Yeah.
I thought it sucked that his last match is against Roman Reigns.
Me too.
That sucks. He deserved better than that, but he went out on his back. He had a great little thing of putting the hat
and the jacket.
And that was the one cool part, is when that stuff appeared. So
that was cool.
Okay, that was very cool. But he can't be in the ring anymore, man.
No, he can't.
He was so good for so long, and now he's not.
He's old.
He's old. That's what happens.
Fine.
And so, like, this, it was cool of Cena to put him over that much.
Sure.
But it was also just like, none of it made sense to me. Bringing him back, it just is like that classic. It just seems the wrestler that can't give it up. And I don't know how much of it's like them pressuring him, like, please do this, or him like, I got to get back there. I have no idea.
Dude, the first time, because now I'm not sold he won't be at next year's WrestleMania.
Well, what? Yeah.
And like, the first time there's a WrestleMania without him, it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
But eventually it has to happen. You know?
Well, he will be, because now they're saying, like, Undertaker's back and he's better than ever. It's like, no. Don't say that, man. You're disrespecting him.
But now here's the thing, because like, you're right. I would kind of wish he hadn't wrestled this year either. But now that he has, as someone considering going next year, I'm like, I kind of hope he wrestles next year, because now I can say I saw the Undertaker.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's something to that. So now I'll ask you this, because they were talking about this on Busted Open, and I was against it to start, and then kind of flipped on it.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see Biker Taker.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to see Biker Taker. He leaves the dead man.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns killed the dead man.
Yeah.
And then I thought it would have been like when Elias was up on the ramp and he hadn't come down yet, and he had his guitar.
Yeah.
I was like, Kid Rock's the special guest or whatever. I was like, if ever they could have just done the American Badass music came out, Taker could have destroyed Elias and then gone down and gotten Cena's face, and I would have enjoyed that so much more.
No, it's weird, because I have very mixed feelings about it, in terms of, I'm like, the last image we have of the Undertaker can't be the American badass. Like when you think of the Undertaker, it's like it was funny and it was like cool in ways he did that, but he's the dead man. He's not.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not a Kid Rock loving American.
Yeah, agreed.
He's a zombie.
Yeah,
but I felt like, all right, well, if you're gonna bring back, it's like he's retired the dead man. Now he's the American badass. That was the perfect time to do it. And it's just so funny to say out loud. Kid Rock A is getting inducted into your Hall of Fame. He'll do a performance. Taker's gonna ride out on his bike.
Can you imagine the reaction if he had come ripping out on the bike?
Oh,
people would have blown up, and then it would have been like, no, I'm not that dead guy's gone.
Yeah,
I'm like, but he's like, you're calling out my wife's Instagram.
Yeah,
you're making fun of me.
Yeah, there's
Do you
more
know who I
reality
am?
based.
Like, yeah,
and so like I on paper, I do think that would have made more sense, and that's kind of what I was expecting and hoping. But at the same time, I feel if you bring him back, ultimately you're gonna have to bring back the dead man because the Undertaker can't really leave as a biker.
No, I agree. Then you would have had to have Dead Man one.
But for
time.
now, that would have made more sense because if he came out now, that would have been cool. Now he's just kind of this old looking badass like Sons of Anarchy dude who's just like, you keep my wife's name out your mouth and just slap Cena around and leaves. That would have been cool.
It would have been dope. I don't know. It was fun. It was fun to see Taker's entrance.
And I'll give Cena credit for putting him over that much. But it just seemed, again, like so much. It was just filler, though.
It was, yeah.
Because you're like, did this really have to happen?
For a month of hype? To watch him beat up Cena and leave?
Yeah, it really just felt like, all right, even, like obviously the guy's doing fine, but it's like, we need Cena in it. Mm-hmm. What can we do?
I honestly, like, because if I go next year, or even if I don't go, even if I'm just watching it, if Taker makes an appearance next year, I would prefer it if it's not in a match.
Yeah.
He just shows up, maybe beats someone up.
Yeah, right.
You know, put someone in the ring that's cutting a promo, and then Taker comes out, beats him up, and leaves. I just feel it's good to see him.
How do you retire him now, though? Because again, what sucked about it was that it was Roman Reigns that retired him, but that is what it is. But he did go out. Other than it being Roman Reigns, he went out in a good way.
Yep, for sure.
Now, how do you do? Because you have to have him go out in a huge way now.
Yeah, I agree.
He's gonna have to go out on his back probably.
Yeah.
So now, who do you have him lose? So like now, like I just hope it doesn't become the next year. Cena's like, I need my revenge, and then Cena's the one. Like, now it's just now I feel it can become a nightmare because you've made it a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know who they have him.
Because the next one, because at the Greatest Royal Rumble or whatever, he has a casket match with Rusev.
No, did you see it got switched?
Did it?
Yeah, they took Rusev out of the match.
Good.
I don't know, but now it's Jericho.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm like, as a fan, I'm like, sweet. But I'm like, that feels like a WWA 2K or like a 2K18 random career mode match.
Oh, honestly, for what it is, because that's the most random event ever.
That'll be
I'm
fun,
like,
though.
sure, don't. But I was pissed because I was like, don't bury Rusev. Even like, that's cool that you say he's in the ring with the Undertaker. He can only work for maybe 5 minutes now, so it's gonna have to be a squash.
Jericho will make him look good and then lose. Yeah.
Exactly. That's okay. I'm honestly now I'm a lot more intrigued now.
Yeah, me too. So that was Taker and Cena. It was whatever. So now I'm looking at the rest of the lineup here, and now I'm like, ugh.
Right.
So now there was Bryan and McMahon against Owens and Zayn. The only problem I have with that match is I don't like Shane McMahon wrestling.
I was gonna say my biggest problem is that Shane McMahon was in it, but
Me too.
Go ahead.
And I didn't like the fact that he was in, and I didn't like the fact that I understand why he was the face in peril for most of the match,
right?
Because Bryan hasn't wrestled in a long time.
He looked good.
Dude, he looks so good.
And stayed in shape.
Yeah. And I'm kind of curious to see where they go with Owens and Zayn now, because I really like Owens and Zayn.
Yeah.
And that was because they showed up on Raw the next night trying to get a job, and I was like, nice.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what they do with them now. But I guess really
they're fired, man. They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Did you see the stipulation?
Yeah, they're wrestling in St. Albert next week. I guess I'll see what you think. At the end of the day, when I look at that match, I'm just like, dude, Daniel Bryan's back and he looked good, and I'm happy with that.
Totally.
That's all I needed out of that.
The clip leading up to it showing like the yes movement, that has to like at least give you a bit of chills. Just seeing like I remember when Daniel Bryan started doing that stupid yes thing, and I thought, this is so funny.
Yeah.
This is, and I don't think anyone thought it was going to be of the magnitude that it is, though. Man. And so I agree. The main thing that pissed me off about it was that Shane McMahon was in it. I just like, he and Daniel Bryan are not on the same level.
Yeah.
We get it. You can jump from one end of the ring to the other and fall through a table. Cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. But Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, both great wrestlers. Daniel Bryan, he's back. That's great. And Shane McMahon. It just felt like... This is uneven.
I tweeted out at one point watching it. I was like, I'm so happy that Shane and Stephanie got 45 minutes of the show as opposed to, and then I put like Ziggler / Rusev / Matt Hardy / Elias.
That's what I mean. Elias doesn't get a match, but Shane and Stephanie get huge spots.
Get an hour. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, fuck. So I don't know, whatever. I mean, you know what? Hopefully Shane McMahon doesn't wrestle anymore and Daniel Bryan is a wrestler again.
Yeah.
And that's all I want. Like, that's all I want.
Like you said, at the end of it, though, what was sweet about it, Daniel Bryan was wrestling in WrestleMania and he's back. So I can't bitch about it that much. It just, I did not appreciate that the magnitude of his return and he's with Shane McMahon. It just felt uneven.
I really thought that the only reason they did it was so Shane could eat the pin.
Right.
And that way Daniel Bryan didn't have to get pinned. And then they didn't even do that. So I was like, I have no idea what the fuck that was. So then they did Alexa Bliss against Nia Jax, which could not even hold a torch to Charlotte and Asuka.
Oh, not even close.
But it was fine.
Of all the storylines, that one had to have, other than the Daniel Bryan one just returning, but even that storyline actually between Daniel Bryan and Shane, there were times where you were just like a little inconsistent. Good story at the end of the day. But the Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss knowing the reality of their friendship and stuff, I thought that was a really good story. Perfectly
done story. I love Alexa Bliss, dude.
She's great.
She's like the female Miz.
Yeah,
I think that's why I like her so much.
She's so smug and smarmy and such a coward.
And this isn't and she is a goddess. She's very, very attractive.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big fan. Yeah, I love everything about her.
She's got the whole package.
And she's just such. You're right. She's such a smug little bitch.
Oh, she's so smarmy.
It was perfect. You just wanted to see Nia Jax beat the fuck out of her, and that's what she did.
No, that was a really good story. Like you said, the match itself not even close to the SmackDown Championship.
Yeah,
but it was good. I liked it.
I thought they were gonna put it on right before the main event because it was kind of like meh, but whatever. It was fine. So then they did AJ and Shinsuke.
Yeah.
I didn't think it lived up to what I was hoping.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with the WWE style, I don't think it was possible. To live up to what everyone was hoping.
Well, I don't think Shinsuke can be what everybody wants and expects him to be in the WWE. Like, he's good, but like if you hadn't watched Shinsuke before or know anything about him before, other than people losing their minds, honestly, I feel it's kind of like, what's the big deal?
Yeah. It's like I like. Do you watch New Japan or anything? It's like I know nothing of him until he got to WWE.
I heard about him, watched very little bit. So I don't want to make it out like I knew Shinsuke. So I went back honestly because that's how I felt. I was like, what's the big deal with him?
Right.
Like the thing that gets me the most psyched is the crowd reaction and people saying like it would be so unbelievable if he ever wrestled AJ Styles or Daniel Bryan. But then when I'm actually watching it, I was like, yeah, he's got some cool striking like a lot of Japanese wrestlers do. But I was just like, this guy's not even in the same stratosphere as AJ Styles.
No, he's not.
So for me, I was a little like, maybe I'm ignorant to it all. The match was about what I thought it would be. Like people like it didn't live up to it, but I was like, honestly, I didn't go into it thinking it was going to be that unbelievable because, like you said, in the WWE system, I don't know how it realistically could. Like AJ Styles could wrestle one of us, and we'd have one of the best matches of the night.
Yeah,
because he can make anybody. No one's even close to AJ Styles.
No, he's this generation's Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, totally.
Where every match is going to be incredible.
Totally.
Like, it's just, he's so good. I loved the heel turn.
Yes.
That to me, like the match went from like a 7 to like an 8.5 with the heel turn because I'm like, well, now I got to see where this goes.
Yeah, the fact that it didn't, like, I would have been kind of, again, just a little confused if it was just like, we love each other, we respect each other. And it was just like, that's what came out of this. And where do you go now? Unless, like I said, the shakeup comes, it would have been whatever. But I was psyched because now I feel, honestly, I'm more excited to watch Nakamura when I have a reason to boo him.
Yep.
Than just being like, he's got a cool theme song and he makes weird movements.
Yeah. Now I want to see, like, I could totally watch them like feud for months now.
Well, now that there's hostility, because before it was just kind of like, this is a dream match, even though I don't quite know why it's a dream match. Whereas now the story's laid down of like, okay, we don't like each other.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was expecting Asuka to do that.
Yeah.
When she lost to Charlotte, I thought she was gonna do it, and then they were like, "No, you're great. You're great too."
It's gonna be very interesting to see how they handle her now.
Asuka.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did they just send her back to Raw and let her beat up Nia Jax, or does she feud with Charlotte?
Or does she start building up those losses?
I kind of like. I mean, I think it's almost predictable, but I think it'd be cool to see her turn heel.
Yeah.
And then start, like, I would love to see, maybe even on a pay-per-view, I would love to see Shinsuke and Asuka against
Mixed
Charlotte
match?
and AJ.
Oh my god.
I'm like, dude, that would be
Yeah,
a
that's a great
wicked
idea.
match.
Was that your idea?
Yeah.
Well
and
done.
Thanks, buddy. And like, and Asuka and Shinsuke are both upset they lost.
Yeah.
And they're bitter. And Charlotte and AJ are the two best
Man.
wrestlers in the company, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. Like,
That's a great idea.
that'd be a cool pay-per-view match. Even put the
100%.
titles on the line.
Yeah.
And like, if whatever mixed team wins,
Right.
gets both titles.
Man.
I would pay to watch that.
That's a hell of an idea, actually.
Though they wouldn't do it because it's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll have Roman come in and beat everyone.
So this is okay. We're gonna bomb through these last couple matches. So then it was the Bar against Strowman and Nicholas.
That was so stupid.
It was so stupid. I want a Nicholas heel turn.
If he did the same low
The
blow.
low blow to Strowman. No, it was. I hate everything about it.
That was
I hate
so
everything about it.
Stupid.
I like Braun Strowman,
Yeah,
but I also
sure.
really like the Bar.
Yes.
But one of the tweets I put out before WrestleMania was I was like, dude, which of our great tag teams should we put in the title match against the Bar? None. Let's just put them all in the Battle Royal.
Exactly.
And then they were like, hey, who can we get over in the Battle Royal by having them destroy everybody? How about Braun? No, let's have him win
Yeah.
the tag team titles. And then
Exactly.
just your entire tag team division shit on now. Because the argument you were making is that none of your tag teams are as good as the Bar.
Right.
Like, that's what you were saying, which I'm okay with. But then Strowman single-handedly manhandles the Bar.
I know.
So now it's like, so all your tag teams are shit compared to
No,
this
exactly.
guy.
It bothered me so much because, like you, I really like the Bar. Primarily because of Cesaro. I didn't used to like Sheamus when he was like a top guy, but he's really good in this role.
Yep.
I like Sheamus. I like Cesaro. And they're really good. So you come in and what you're saying is, yeah, you've negated everything that they've done and your tag team division's done because I know how much you're trying to push Braun Strowman without making him more substantial than Roman Reigns, because God forbid. But you just shit on them so much. Combined, they can't beat him. And then you like overthink it. And Strowman can't beat Roman Reigns. Strowman can't beat Brock Lesnar. So you got this handful of wrestlers that by themselves are better than your best tag team. So then think about the lower tag teams. It just makes them look like jobbers.
It makes
now.
them all look like shit.
And then just bring, like, it was funny that you get this like little weird looking kid named Nicholas.
Yeah.
But it's like, really? Whereas like, yeah, if it came in all of a sudden and it was like Elias is his partner, because that actually would have kind of made sense that they had a bit of a story. Then for whatever reason, they get together. Now they're a real tag team for a bit.
Dude,
that's cool.
There were so many. I wanted to see Elias or I wanted to see Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Dude, if fucking Strowman had come out and been like, oh, I found a partner. And then fucking Samoa Joe's music came on.
Everybody's chanting Joe.
And then they crushed the Bar.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, if that was a complete squash match.
Then let them be the champs for a month or two.
Yeah.
Then they split up and now we get to watch Strowman versus Joe.
Yeah.
Which would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh, and now, because now the next night on Raw, they just forfeit the tag titles.
I know.
And now your tag team division is just shit again. And now you know what's going to happen. Mark my words, is Wyatt and Hardy are going to win the tag titles.
Yeah.
So now this tag team that's never been a tag team is going to beat the tag team that everyone else can't beat.
That was so stupid.
So
I did
dumb.
the same thing, like thinking about because I thought about Samoa Joe a little bit too, and I was like, so they win, they destroy them. Like you said, they're chance for a little bit, but then because they're both such like monsters, they can't get along. They don't even necessarily lose it. Like they just kind of like in a fit with each other. Just like, I don't even care. We lose. Like all I want's to fight you anyway. So without being buried, they're not champs anymore. You could have done so many things other than shitting on every tag team.
So there's another one. So now Shane, Stephanie, and Nicholas got premier matches ahead of a bunch of those guys. Like, fuck
Nicholas got more of a push than Elias.
Fuck off. So that sucked, and then there was the main event. And I honestly, like, this thing has been pretty long. I'll let you. I don't even want to waste a lot of time on the main event. I hate Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And I am a Brock Lesnar fan.
Yeah.
I know more and more people hate him that he's doing part time.
Right.
It doesn't bother me because I like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
But I think I am to the point where I'm ready for the experiment to end. Like I want to go a different direction with it.
And I'm sure it will at this Greatest Royal Rumble.
Probably.
Where Roman will probably win. I felt like in a way it was gonna kind of have the Goldberg Brock Lesnar treatment where they could have put on a great match and we probably would be dismissive of it because it was right away people had written it off. I think like from what we knew, Roman was gonna win and Brock was done.
Yeah,
it was a foregone thing. So and no one wants Roman headlining his 40th WrestleMania in a row.
No,
and we've seen this. It's been done. And then the match itself is just kind of whatever. It got a huge pop. because that was a huge surprise.
Yeah, it was.
Brock Lesnar. That was the one good thing out of it.
I really I almost would have bet money. I was expecting Heyman to turn on Lesnar,
right,
and help Roman, and then just turn Roman heel and give him Heyman.
I just didn't think that was gonna happen because I just know WWE is not turning Roman heel. I was like, again, that's a fun idea that would get you talking and get you psyched about it, but he's Cena. He's not gonna be a bad guy, and they'll come up with like, he gets more heat, more boos than anybody. He is our top heel. It's like, no, you guys are just pushing someone we don't like.
Yeah, it was it sucks because honestly, dude, halfway through that WrestleMania, I would have been like, dude, this might end up being the best WrestleMania of all time.
Yeah,
because I was so into the show.
A lot of promise.
And then it just fucking like womp womp. Like the last hour and a half of the show just got worse after worse after worse after worse.
Well, as long as it's going this way, and it's realistically, it won't be long before it's probably an 8-hour event. We're never going to see the greatest WrestleMania because you can't. With that much time,
no, you can't
have that many matches that are going to hit it out of the park.
But the thing is like I feel like they could because they have the talent. They won't.
No, they won't.
But they could. The roster right now is as sick as they've ever had.
It's insane.
But they don't use a lot of them.
No.
They just and it's frustrating. It's frustrating, but at the same time, dude, I had fun just watching the show as a fan. Like it was like totally. I told Shaylee after I was like, it's to me wrestling is its most fun when I completely suspend belief.
Totally.
I know it's fake. I know that like in reality, fucking Braun Strowman has no business beating these two guys. Yeah. Whatever. But I'm like, I'm ignoring all the logic, and I'm like, I'm just pretending this is real, and these guys are fighting, and just have fun. And it was just fun to sit there and watch that show.
I think as a wrestling fan, it's like our job is to think about it after the fact, especially and critique it.
Yeah,
it's like anything else. If you don't, you're an idiot. Like if you just listen to top 40 music, like but it's on the radio, so I should. Or you watch The Big Bang Theory. It's like but it's on TV, so it has to be good. You don't think about it. You're an idiot.
Yeah,
think about it and be critical of it, but. All that being said, like we're sharing on matches, it was fun. I had a lot of fun enjoying it, and like you said, like that's just the best thing about wrestling, especially when you see it live. You just realize this people just came here to have a good time.
That's all it is. It's just
put shit aside and just enjoy it. And I think for the most part, they did a really good job with it.
Agreed.
It's just as wrestling nerds and whatever you're just like at certain points, you're like, what are you thinking?
Agreed.
Yeah.
So then, what was your match of the night? If you had to give one, the Henry Sir official match of the night.
Honestly, the first two. Like we said, but because of the surprise factor, I hate saying this because of the other people involved, but I thought Rousey, given the circumstances, I'm going to give it to that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel that was the most entertaining match of the night.
Technically, I'd go with Charlotte.
Yeah. Charlotte Asuka.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredible.
Is that your top?
Yeah, that was mine. Okay. Yeah. Either that or the triple threat, but Charlotte Asuka was like, I'm such a huge Charlotte Flair fan. It's not.
She's great.
Like I would buy her shirt at an event. I'd be like, dude, she's fucking awesome.
She's fantastic. Not as in like she's a good women's wrestler. Like no, she's just one of the top 5 wrestlers in WWE right now.
Yeah, man. Well, this is the longest one I've done in quite a while. I tried to cut these ones back, but I'm like,
WrestleMania was 7 hours. You got to give it its proper time.
We had to give it its time, and it was fun. I like talking wrestling. Yeah, it's nice to talk wrestling with someone that knows wrestling.
When we talk about Bret Hart, I am coming for you.
We're doing another one.
Yes.
Mark my words. I'll put it down right now. We'll do another one, and I could happily spend an hour fucking running down Bret Hart. Fucking piece of shit.
Like we have to do it in a ring so that when fists start getting thrown.
We'll become the Edmonton comedy scenes, Brett and Sean. Awesome, buddy. Well, thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having me, man.
Do you got anything you want to plug? Do you got a Twitter or an Instagram, any shows, anything you want to be like, hey, come see me?
Yeah, you can follow me at Henry Sir 33, and then I don't know, be doing some shows in Chicago and Minneapolis in May, and I don't know if you happen. Yeah, you got it. We're building this fan base.
I got followers, bro.
Midwest. If you're around there, yeah, hit me up.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
That was WrestleMania 34 with my buddy Henry Sir. I hope you guys liked it. I'm really enjoying the new format of this thing with Adam Wastes Time as opposed to the Comedy Odyssey. I love being able to talk about whatever I want. I've wanted to do a wrestling podcast with Henry for a while. That was fucking sweet. And we will be doing another one because Bret Hart can go fuck himself. And we're going to talk about that. Okay, guys, for my shows, I know this has already been a long one, so thanks if you made it all the way to the end of this thing. For shows this week, I'll be at Oscar's Pub in Sherwood Park tonight. That is Sunday the 15th with Ben Prue and Mike Damber. I'm pretty sure it's sold out, and by the time you hear this, the show's already going to be over anyway. So it's just me bragging. Tomorrow night, the 16th, I will be hosting Battle to the Funny Bone at the Comic Strip in West Edmonton Mall. Tickets are only $5, or if you hit me up, I can get you some free ones. Please come out and watch us try to write jokes on the spot. Tuesday night, April 17th, I'll be back at the Comic Strip in the mall, competing in this year's Funniest Person with a Day Job competition. I think I still have a couple of comps left for that, so same thing. If you want to come, I'd love to see you there. Please shoot me a message. I'll get you some tickets. Thursday night, I will be hosting Comedy at Chicago Joe's with the incomparable Chris Gordon headlining. That show is free and the food is great, and Chris Gordon is a fantastic comic. So if you didn't come to Sherwood Park or the Comic Strip or the Comic Strip again, then please come out to Chicago Joe's and see us. Friday night the 20th, I will be out in Whitecourt, Alberta. I don't really know where, but I'm sure if you search Whitecourt Comedy, there's not a lot of fucking competition. I'll be headlining a show out there. That'll probably be fun, I hope. I don't know. I've never been to Whitecourt. Maybe it'll suck. I don't know. Sunday the 21st, I will be in Kalmar with Kenny Valgertson. I can't wait for that, to do a fundraiser for their hockey stuff out there. I don't know if you can buy tickets for that or not. You probably can. So there's that. And then on Sunday the 22nd, I will be at Empress Comedy Night at the Empress Ale House on White Ave. That show starts at 9. That show is free. So lots of shows this week. Really fucking hitting the ground. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling loose. Telling lots of jokes. Your positivity quote for the week. We're going to go with this one because of Funniest Person with a Day Job. It is stay quiet, compete, and surprise them when they least expect it. Fucking go get it. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Adam Wastes Time, and I will check in with you guys again in 7 days. All right, take it easy, you guys. Oh yeah, and I hope the Maple Leafs are fucking eliminated before I get to the next episode, just to fuck with you, Dave. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon. abcomedy.net. Cheers.